Welcome to our new series of interviews with Father Bob. The teenagers of St. Peter Parish will be interviewing Father Bob every month, asking him questions that have been on their minds. Stay tuned each month for a new video. Here is the next of many interviews to come.
Why do we have deacons? What is the difference between a deacon and a priest? What does a deacon represent?
Okay, well, deacons. This is really a question about what we would call holy orders, the sacrament of holy orders. The sacrament of holy orders is a little bit different than the other sacraments in that there are kind of three different degrees of the sacrament. So we're ordained, we share in the sacrament of holy orders, but we celebrate it or share it in three different ways. One is being a deacon, two is being a priest, three is being a bishop. The bishop would have the fullness of sacred orders. So a deacon, the word deacon means servant. And in the early church, the apostles were getting so busy, not only preaching and teaching and praying, but they were also taking care of the needs of the widows and people who just needed food, that they were kind of getting torn. So they asked the people, appoint, 7 other people. Give us 7 people. We'll say prayers over them, and we're going to make this their special role to take care of the needs of the needy. And so that's what they did. This is from Acts chapter 6 in the Bible. And Stephen was one of them, and there were 6 others along with him. Stephen became the first martyr, first one to die for Jesus. And but even then, those deacons took, they would go out and preach and talk to others about Jesus. So a deacon is one today whose primary role is to take care of the material needs of the church and assist those who need food, clothing, shelter, these sorts of things. And but also they can preach, celebrate marriages, and baptize. So they have those special roles as well. And they are what's called an ordinary minister of Holy Communion. We have all sorts of lay people that help distribute communion. We call them extraordinary ministers of Holy Communion. Not because they're so good, but because it's a little out of the ordinary. But the ordinary ones, the ones that normally do it, are the priests and deacons. So that's what they do. And many deacons do other roles and serve churches and the church in other ways. Permanent deacons I'm talking about. There's another kind of deacon called a transitional deacon. And that's a deacon who's on his way to becoming a priest. So he's ordained a deacon, but for a short period of time. I was a deacon for 7 months before I was ordained a priest. Sometimes we're a deacon for a year, sometimes less. And again, that's kind of preparation for on a step to becoming ordained a priest. So a deacon represents Christ. I mean, we all represent Christ in some way, but a deacon, I think, especially represents Christ as a servant. Jesus said it, I came not to be served, but to serve, and to give my life in ransom for many. So deacons are those who serve others, and especially those who are in need.